Well, great to hear from Alessandro Tudisca, our winner of Heat 3, B versus C at Seniors. Let's turn our attention to the X30 Junior Brigade, as here is your grid for Heat 1, D versus E. Stig de Rademaker will be joined by Anthony Bongarts on the front row. Didier Klieft and Timio Riflau will be on row number 2. Max Sulin and Riley Crenham will be on row number 3. Ava Dorestein and Senna Munier line up on row 4 with Felipe Perez and Flavio Caja rounding out the top 10. Archie Owen is joined by Farah Jalil on row 6 with Gil Huntink and Boris Yonchev on row 7. Row 8, it's going to be Timothy Lausin and Yori Bröckmann. Scott Riley will be joined by Germany's Ben Goetz on row number 9, and completing the top 20 will be Maurice Vercreuz and Aurelio Giustinelli. Row 11, it's Edouard Gauffoy with Carolina Redondo de Blas, Denis Kozlowski and Noah Nolken, making it an all-German row number 12 with Viggo Moons, Shirt de Vries, Ivry, Arthur Huang, Quintin van Leeuwen and Sacha Duquet rounding out the 30-strong grid. So 10 minutes plus an additional lap for just 30 of the 77 X30 juniors here this weekend at the home of champions. So over the course of the day, 6 junior X30 heats will take place. So a big subscription of drivers for this particular weekend of the 2024 season. Field makes its way slowly at a crawl towards turn number 10 as we see someone flinging a water bottle into the edge just off of the grandstand, and probably I hope they've caught it. Got the drivers, 30 of them ready and set to get into battle. De Rademaker and Bongarts on the front row of the grid as the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry ahead of 10 minutes. Plus 1 additional lap. Again, like we saw with the seniors, it's about getting your best foot forward early in this weekend and surviving through the qualifying heats, getting through into the top 36. As we wait with bated breath, the drivers come out of the final corner, into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. And the lights? No, they are not out. It's the first full start of the meeting. And round again we go for another tour of this 1,360 metre circuit. A true test. It's a circuit that every driver, no matter where you ask in all 6 continents, all 4 corners of the globe, if they've raced here, they will know exactly which circuit you are talking about. Of course, at this stage, it is very much the case of Quintin van Leeuwen is going to have to make a Herculean effort in the qualifying heats. Tig Buckley, as they are being told to slow down. It is full course yellows. They've got to slow it down. Oh, dearie dear. I think they're a bit too eager to get this full start, this restart underway. As there we see everyone trying to get themselves into position. It's looking like not everyone's going to be in the position they're meant to be in. Oh, this might not go down well. Red flag. They've red flagged it straight away. I've just seen it on the start-finish straight. They have red flagged it, and that is at Marshall Post 7 that we see the red flag. So we are going to have to reset. And, well, race director Thomas Liner possibly having a chat with Stig de Rademaker, who is on the left-hand side of your screens for those watching at home. But, yeah, they are now going to, once again, just, well, all the drivers seem to be getting out of the carts. They're going to be pushing them up to the starter grid. And, Simon, in your honest experience, now this is a question. You've experienced that before, where you've had a full start, the red flag gets thrown because not everyone's in the right position. How frustrating can that be for a driver at this point, so early in the weekend?
En gros, ça reste quelque chose qui arrive. rarement, heureusement. Et bah, forcément, quand c'est comme ça, on a un pic d'adrénaline au moment du départ et puis directement, bah, ça retombe. C'est vrai que c'est une situation particulière. Il faut tout de suite se remobiliser, se reconcentrer parce que un départ n'est pas l'autre. Vous pouvez, par exemple, ici, pour certains pilotes, ne pas vous sentir à l'aise au moment de s'élancer, même si ici on a annoncé un faux départ. Vous pouvez avoir des ressentis qui sont plutôt bons ou pas, avec parfois un moteur qui est un petit peu engorgé, où vous vous dites bah, c'était pas l'idéal ici. Bah, il faut switcher et se remobiliser, se reconcentrer pour le départ suivant. Et ici, forcément, on va remettre tout le monde dans le bon ordre avant de relancer la machine. Alors c'est vrai qu'on avait un faux départ qui a été annoncé, je pense, pour les premiers, vraiment très tard au niveau de la ligne de départ. Par la suite, les pilotes, visiblement, n'ont pas vu les drapeaux jaunes. Pourtant, ils étaient agités à certains endroits du côté de Stig de Rademacher. Et le pilote qui s'élance en tête ici dans cette manche qualificative de la catégorie X30 junior a ralenti, mais vraiment trop tardivement pour pouvoir relancer les hostilités en toute sécurité.
Yeah, so effectively, Simon was going. You've got the adrenaline going through your veins. For those wondering, so I'm going to do my best as a literal translator here. That as a racing driver, yeah, you can get frustrated at times, but you've got to switch yourself back into that racing mode and get back on it. He also mentioned about the fact that the drivers may have seen the yellow lights at the latest point possible because it is down to the discretion of the race director. But then there will be that time where you've just got to think. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, but it's now the case of they're going to have to send them back around again and get back underway. So a couple of drivers towards the back end of the top 15 or thereof are now getting back into their carts. So we are going to be under starters' orders very, very shortly once again. So it's going to be a full restart. And that sometimes for a driver, especially if they're battling for the championship, they want things to go right. They don't want things to go wrong, as in for them particularly, and that can be a very, very disconcerting thing. But these young drivers, who are some of the superstars of the future when it comes to modern day motorsports, and more to the point, there's a little bit of a discussion going on towards the back end of the grid. A couple of people surrounding a particular car. I think that might be possibly towards row number 13 at the back end of the field. But again, it is just a case of switch off, reset, get back at it, and get back into racing mode. And that's what a lot of the drivers are already doing at the front end of the field with the likes of De Rademacher. And when you look at it, well, 50% of the top 6 are all Fusion karts, Fusion Motorsport karts, which is also one of the things that in karting, we know that. You know this as well, Simon, that there's always depth in strength by numbers when it comes to a race team. And so now they're going to be, pole sitter Stig de Rademacher has been told to fire at the engine. So here we go again. So there is one kart that I think has not made it off of the starting grid. And it's being, oh, right, one kart's not making it to the start. So someone's kart has faltered on the start-finish line. Couldn't really pick out the number, but it's going to be De Rademacher from Bongarts, Krief from Riflat, Sulin from Finland, then Canham, Dorestein, Meunier, Reis, Kaira, Owen, Jalil, Hunting, Yonchev, Laroussine, Bergman, Riley, Goetz, Recroix, Justinelli, Gauffoy, Renaud de Blas, Kozlowski, Nolken, Moons, De Vries, Ries. Then we've got Huang, Van Leeuwen, and Duquet. So we're going to have 29 take to the restart here, as we are on the official formation lap after the brief red flag stoppage just a couple of moments ago. So De Rademacher and Bongarts on the front row. Krieft and Riflat on row 2. Sulin and Crownen, row 3. Dorestein, Meunier, row 4. Felipe Reyes and Flavio Caira round out the top 10 as they are crawling slowly towards the 12th and final corner. 10 minutes on the timer, plus an additional lap for the first Junior X30 heat of the weekend. They want to get this off to the perfect start possible as the drivers crawl their way out to the 12th and final corner. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Lights are on. Lights are out. We're underway. And it's going to be De Rademacher leading into turns 1 and 2. Krief following in behind. Bongart slots in behind Krief going into turn 2 for the first time. 4 wide towards the mid-pack. And everyone trying to get through. It's 2 wide towards the bottom part of the top 15. And a little bit further back as Bongarts looks up the inside of Krief. Gets through at turn number 6. There's a little bit of a caramelage coming through into turn 6 for the first time. Oh, someone gets a little bit of a nudge from behind and kicks up the dirt off of the outside curbing as Krief's right on the rear bumper of Bongarts as they head through turn number 9. In 6th position looks to be Riley Cranham behind Max Sulin. Into turn 10 here on lap 1. Nice little dive up the inside from behind. I think it might have been Senna Meunier on Ava Dorrestein. So that is a change for 7th. De Rademacher leads after the opening lap. P2 it's Bongarts, then it's Krief, Rieflaar, Cranham, Meunier, Sulin, Jalil. Oh, and we've had a bit of a drama for Ben Goetz and Aurelio Giustinelli. Maurice Verkroos was the driver that was pushed away from the restart and did not take to the grid. Was due to start 19th position as behind Riley Cranham. That was a move by Max Sulin in the 192 through on Senna Meunier for 6th place. Riley Cranham quite recently in Junior X30 was the runner-up at this year's Motorsport UK Kart Masters British Kart Grand Prix just the other week at Paul Fletcher International. He's in the hunt for the championship title in Miami Euro Series, which hits its finale next weekend. Currently 4th in the standings for that. With 8 minutes to go, plus an additional lap, you can see the gantry, a hive of activity off of the final corner. But it's a Fusion 1-2 with De Rademacher now leading from Krief, who's ahead of Bongarts. Rieflaar and Cranham round out the top 5. Fanny Jalil's had a really good run, up 6 places from 12th spot on the grid with Meunier, Sulin, Yonchev and Archie Owen rounding out the top 10. But here comes Anthony Bongarts trying to look for a move on Didier Krief. Is he going to thread the eye of the needle through at turn 7? Yes, he does. And that's a great move there by Bongarts, but look at the squabble behind. Krief, oh, Cranham's got one up the inside, that's Faraz Jalil, and Cranham defends on the outside of turn number 9. What's more, Senna Meunier is there. Max Sulin and Boris Yonchev won't be too far adrift either, but it's Stig De Rademacher who's starting to make an early getaway. Good move there by Riley Cranham, and that is a move on Timio Rieflaar for 4th place for the 119 from Fusion Motorsports.
Des bagarres à tous les étages dans cette manche qualificative de la catégorie X30 Junior avec Timio Rieflaar là, qui se bat pour conserver sa 4e position. On a vu tout un temps le Britannique Riley Cranham passer devant lui et d'ailleurs il repasse devant le Britannique en 4e position. Très belle bagarre donc pour la 4e place et c'est Senna Meunier qui est venu percuter là le Britannique. Oh, ça c'est sûr et certain, son pare-choc avant est déclipsé. Vu le contact, il y aura une pénalité de temps, ça c'est sûr et certain pour Senna Meunier à l'issue de cette manche qualificative. Et dans l'aventure, je pense que Timio Rieflaar a su s'en sortir. Mais ça a tapé relativement fort hein, pour Senna Meunier. Oui, le spoiler est complètement défoncé à ce niveau-là. Ouais. Pendant ce temps-là, eh bien, on a Didier Krief qui a pris les commandes de cette course, le pilote néerlandais qui pointe désormais en tête devant Tony Bongarts sous la pression de Stig De Rademacher. Le poleman qui a donc perdu 2 positions, Riley Cranham est 4e devant Senna Meunier, mais de manière provisoire, on vous l'a dit. avec Timo Riflar en 6e position. On avait noté il y a quelques instants la belle remontée de Fares Jalil, remontée à la 8e position. C'est 4 positions de gagné. Et puis parmi les remontées, on devait suivre notamment le retour de Quinten Van Leeuwen qui s'est lancé depuis le fond de grille. Il est pour l'instant 23e, pas encore top pour le leader du championnat qui démarre ce week-end avec un sacré handicap.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hard hit on the back bumper of Riley Cranham. I mean, it stoved in the front bumper of Senemanier's car. So if those clips are in, I won't be at all surprised. But it is getting to be a bit of an RSD dogfight a little bit now because Senemanier has got 2 other drivers, 2 other teammates actually behind him. Timo Riflau and Boris Yonchev. They ran out the top 7. And it's getting a bit close, but Timo Riflau through on Senemanier, and so went Boris Yonchev. Here comes Fares Jalil diving through with millimetre precision there. That was a great move on Senemanier, and that just goes to show, I did say, plenty of overtaking opportunities here at Genk, and if you can make a move like that and dive through with millimetres to spare between sidewall and side pod, you're very, very lucky indeed. So that's a great move there by Fares Jalil. In the meantime, Stig de Rademaker is being closed in on by Riley Cranham, who last time round set the fastest lap. Another fastest lap, and there's the move for second. De Rademaker through on Bongarts, and here comes Cranham. Cranham last time round did not set a purple sector in the first, second or third around this lap, but he still made it work to the point where, okay, I know I'm up in sector 1, sector 2 looks pretty steady, and still managed to get the fastest lap of the race. However, Boris Yonchev, who is a couple of places behind Cranham, has just gone purple in sector number 2. Riflar's fastest overall in sector 2. Jalil fastest overall in sector 3. And what's more to the point is that Riley Cranham now finds himself in third, ahead of Anthony Bongarts, who's dropped down to P4. Just under 3 minutes and 20 to go. And Didier Kreeft looking to keep his advantage as Cranham dives up the inside, neat as you like, through at turn number 2 on Stig de Rademaker with Bongarts in tow.
Ouais, les pilotes belges qui se font griller la politesse pour l'instant sur ce karting Genk, en l'occurrence ici Stig de Rademaker et Anthony Bongarts qui ont vu passer devant eux le Britannique Riley Cranham, pilote venu préparer la finale de la Yamaha Euro Series la semaine prochaine, lui qui est pour l'instant 4e de cette compétition européenne et donc un sacré client présent ici parmi les habitués du championnat Benelux. Devant, eh bien, Didier Kreeft a une belle avance. Il avait 9 dixièmes de bon sur ses plus proches poursuivants lors du dernier pointage et cet écart est désormais passé à 1 seconde. D'autant que si derrière on continue à se bagarrer, on ne va pas revenir spécialement sur le pilote néerlandais Didier Kreeft ici à Genk, qui a l'occasion de réaliser de bonnes choses puisque ce pilote au niveau du classement, est-ce qu'il a une opportunité de revenir? Alors il n'est pas spécialement dans les premières positions, Didier Kreeft, mais en tout cas il a déjà montré par le passé qu'il avait une belle pointe de vitesse. Ouais, il est assez loin au championnat.
Sorry to cut across you there, Simon. A little bit of a touch between the RSD teammates.
Ouais, et ça c'est Boris Yonchev et Timo Riflar qui se bagarrent là, avec notamment Anthony Bongarts qui est redescendu dans la hiérarchie.
Fares Jalil is in that mix as well, so this is going to be elbow sharpened. Bongarts bounces over the curbing. That's not going to do him any good. Coming out of turn number 3, nearly loses another place. So just goes to show that Timo Riflar making it through as Bongarts is losing place after place. That's Senemanier through. Max Sulin, the number 192 representing Finland, is right on the case of the 184, the 132, who started on the outside of the front row and slipping ever further down at the top 10 is Anthony Bongard. It's not been an easy one for the 132 from Belgium, as we have 43 seconds on the time. We're going to have this and one more lap to go, and at the moment leading the way it is Didier Kreeft, Riley Cranham and Stig de Rademacher leading a fusion. 1, 2, 3 across the line. RSD Karting rounding off the top 5 with Boris Yonchev, who's up 10 spots already and is one further ahead than Timur Riflar. Farid Jalil up to 6. Senna Meunier, Anthony Bongarts, Max Sulin, and rounding out the top 10. It could be the fact that Evert Dorrestein might just get past at a moment's notice through on Archie Owen. I've just seen them actually come down the Europalan just briefly. So Dorrestein wearing her FIA Girls on Track race suit. Very proud of that, she is. She was one of the 4 finalists at last year's Girls on Track events that took place in Italy. But this time around, we're going to get the final lap board out. And the first person that's going to see it is Didier Kreeft in the number 112. Cranham still in second. Third, it's still de Rademacher. It's going to be a very, very good race for Fusion Motorsport. But Farid Jalil, that was a bit too overzealous. And he ended up going into the side of Timur Riflar into turn number 2. Got the move done. But I think that Riflar won't be too happy about that one.
Oui, c'était très serré, hein. On n'est pas passé loin de l'accrochage là au niveau du premier virage avec une attaque de Farid Jalil sur Timur Riflar. C'est finalement passé et c'est tant mieux pour ses concurrents. On l'a dit et répété plusieurs fois durant cette saison et on l'a déjà dit aussi ce week-end. Il faut absolument ne pas s'accrocher, éviter tout cela pour pouvoir se qualifier pour la finale. On sait qu'ils sont nombreux à vouloir aller en finale. Ils sont 77, mais il n'y a que 36 places. En attendant, la victoire de Didier Kreeft, le pilote néerlandais qui remporte la première manche qualificative dans cette catégorie X30 junior. Il a devancé Riley Cranham, le pilote britannique, et le premier belge, Stig de Rademacher, termine à la 3e position. 4e place pour Boris Yonchev. Très belle manche qualificative de la part du Belge. Il a non seulement signé le meilleur tour en course en 55,795, mais il a surtout gagné 10 positions depuis le départ. 5e position à l'arrivée pour Senna Meunier. Attention, résultat très provisoire. On sait qu'il y a les vérifications techniques et surtout les spoilers avant à vérifier à l'arrivée. Donc 5e place pour Senna Meunier devant Farid Jalil. Timur Riflar, finalement 7e. Il devance Anthony Bongard, Max Sulin, le pilote finlandais, et Eva Dorrestein, la pilote néerlandaise, finalement 10e. Et vous découvrez cette hiérarchie si vous nous suivez sur la chaîne YouTube de la Yamaha Series Benelux. N'hésitez pas à vous abonner avec un classement que vous découvrez complet désormais. 11e place pour Archie Owen, Scott Riley termine 12e, Philippe Reis 13e, Flavio Cara 14e, 15e place pour Hill Hunting. Et du côté du leader du championnat, Quinton Van Leeuwen, on a pu grappiller quelques positions, mais on ne termine qu'à la 23e place. Week-end décidément compliqué pour le leader du championnat. Ce ne sera pas simple de se qualifier pour la finale. Il reste encore pas mal de manches qualificatives, mais il faudra faire mieux pour revendiquer une bonne position en vue de la finale.